Please tell us your name.
Dawa Dakpa.
My name is Dawa Dakpa.
His Holiness the Dalai Lama asked us to record your experiences so that we can share your memories with many generations of Tibetans, the Chinese, and the rest of the world. Your memories will help us to document the true history, culture, and beliefs of the Tibetan people. Do you give your permission for the Tibet Oral History Project to use this interview?
공사겸구 첨부초기 니 가공신 만츠기 게랍츠 미지 냥용 루규 돈조 은 잔죽 슈기요레 미지기 안다 루규 돈조 페미 미라 망보타 갸리 엘학바도 잠네 미마라 토야기 체도레 엔 루규 돈조 나네 니 페기 게랍타 리숑 엔 페미즈 이체 모유데 카리 예메디 고도 용구요레 다른 발라기 nga줄라야 티와틸레 낭바디 아니 벽이 nga균 게랍레 귤기 배주 땅야라 까트 낭그와
네티그릴
right
Thank you for offering to share your story with us. During this interview, if you wish to take a break or stop at any time, please let me know. If you do not wish to answer a question or talk about something, let me know.
루규송네 투지체슈야이 사릴
노르세
니야 티와틸레 낭베 갑라야 까고야 단 잠샤고야 딘데 두나 네 송나 디기요레
노르세
야 케시 티와 찍라 랭균드 메베이나 랭균그 메 송네 디기요레
알레
If this interview was shown in Tibet or China, would this be a problem for you?
다른 게 티와틸레 낭바지요르와 디 푀다 갸나드바 템베이나 아니 팔라라 깡에 가리요나
데케케 갈래 요마르 가르스는 뭐에 내주르바 제가 띵에 뭐에 내주디 템바타 시천 슈요리 저대 공에 테마릴
It will be no problem because what I'm saying is the true story.
We are honored to record your story and appreciate your participation in this project.
다른 데 루규 송가 페베디안 가부충
Please tell us how old you are now and when you were born, what year? I mean, how old you are now and where you were born.
빨라 단다 공로 가져이나
당아로 달리 교시탄 발리 진짜 달로산 산 교지리기
아니 빨라 총유 리밍 가르레
녜기 룽바 펜부스 드린
So I'm 80 years old and when the new year comes I'll be 81 and I was born in Penpo.
And how many people were in your family?
빨라 별라 총주 임베 갑라 남이 가져요레 나라
아 능미 게지줄
There were 8 members in my family.
And where were you in the children? Were you first or in the middle? Where?
나라 pugu요로알라
라리.
pugu 나네 아니 빨라 겜바레 총아레 딩아레 칸데이나 pugu 가져요나
라부 켄숑하리
pugu 가져나네
라부시
시 나네 겐시
랑
I'm the oldest of 4 children.
Okay, 4. And Pala, what did your parents do for a livelihood?
빨라기 빨라 암라요와
라리.
엔디캅레야 안소와 칸데기기요나
라 답하마 예베컬리아 아니 직풀리아로 체월 단달리아 세신체 사만로 딘데리 즈니 싱게기레가 체 에얀로 웬로랜데 체 딘데첸 소게고린
So when my parents were alive, we were pastoral farmers. We raised animals as well as did farming.
And what kinds of crops did your family grow?
신게나라 뜬도 가르가르기기요나
싱게나 던도 디디잔네 아니 초체 제마체 네체 아니 베간스다 데구린
So in our field, we grew wheat, peas, barley, and mustard,
쇼골르부스다 데구린 로
and also potatoes and radish.
It sounds like there was a lot of variety in your family's diet then. Was there always enough food to eat for the family?
Ta tendo mangbu tab nangidua.
No.
This do gane any shella choya di damenda choya yosarwal.
Long.
Any
That long.
any kadu ine ge shella la choya shella la kange yomarwa.
Yomaril.
Yeah, there was no problem with food.
When you said your village was Penpo,
Tempo.
how many families lived in Penpo at that time when you were growing up?
Bala charlong nang bekabla pembo nang ya nang chang khazus yore.
Nghe nào nâng mi la.
Mari pembo nang ya nang chang de khazus yore.
Lungbe nào mi thongde nào mi khaju yore sungor bel. Long ta tindu nganzo thongde chop che de war wal. Chut be gas tinde yomaril. Temba nga thu chu zero tinde chop chen de gril. Long.
So all the families lived in little clusters. It wasn't like hundreds of families lived together. So there were 5, 6 to 10 families living in a cluster.
And can you describe some memories of your childhood? What are some of your pleasant or favorite memories?
Bala chingju imbe kablarwa tanda tensu chebe ina any chik thusu kibu dawo dinde khare tensu yungu yana tanda.
That chunju kanlia kange mebe bugu naor cheja ta zemo khora jik telekil teze shida zejen en chubze zeyaru tinda teze zeyaru tinda ene apchu kyayaru tinda dinde liya kabu yen bugu chunju kanlia apchu sna maranju lugi kangbe delia ene apchu sen double luti sen that is luti sen ji yantik zeyayore double luti sen apchu.
So when I was a child, there was no problems, and I loved playing in the dust and in the water. And then we also played the apchu, which is made from the ankle of a sheep.
What kind of games did you play with the ankle of a sheep?
And that luki kangbe ruo jorwa ruo digi zemo khande zire.
Dinde zigri. Double luti is send ko duk send taji da punguchi send ka ni laya yore. Double lutis. And double lutis and hala kare phu taji phu. Ma kare na rajna sam de the bugu jamu dinde zigri. Double lutis taris luris punguris raris send de zeya yore kolya apchu delia ka shi zejor. Tache luche rache punguche. Shitaya, double lutis. Apchu chigoran, dinde bugu samosen dayon long.
So as children, the apchu, the bone, had 4 sides, and when you threw the bone, it could either be one of the 4 animals like horse, donkey, goat, or sheep.
Lu kangbe sikto peru dayon long.
It's found in the ankle of the sheep.
And what was the point of the game if you got one side or the other?
Di yugurwa tanda apchu di yugtyu kane ta ya mena ta phungu ra lukchik susula ragirwa ta di rana kharire ta rana kharire phungu rana kharire
Ta lana yaga chigre. Lu lana yaga chigre. Ane rata phungu sina ya tes phungu langsa de tu chigre. Long.
Ani kharichi ta
Ani
rana
that the Zamuziri do send ya Mangoyana do send any Duduta do Shubata, Yubtanga, and Kashe Talan, the Kashe Lulamber, the Kashe Ralamber within the Mangoy, the negative Mangat Talan, and it could tap shores and Zamuzin tap to weary. Rather Lu Ravayana, Yapanguyore, and the Pungurana that Pamjari, the distant tap show Zamur, the Desaya to long.
So you would have many of these ankles in your palm, and you threw it on the ground. And if the more number of horse sides stood up, then you could be the winner. And donkeys was considered the worst.
디 부구 자무 시다 다수요를 델리아 춘시다 단제 망부지그리 나오.
So children played this game a lot, and these ankle bones would also be colored.
Oh. And what, you also mentioned that you took care of, your family had a farm and animals. So what kind of herding did you do, and what were your responsibilities?
다 발라 춘주이 메카블라와 엔나리아 다 싱가 요리 엔 셈쟁게 요르와 애니 찰레 가리가리 나임베
다 춘주 간리아 로야 접주도 달리드잖아. 아니 다르루 초가름데다 버주 초가름 된데다. 아니 디네 로정아스 도와야 리드잖아. 아니 디아 초가 노 초가 두레 풀이야. 랑
타링아 페고레
랑 아니 나 로축지네 타오체로와 랑
So around the age of 10, a child would be given the responsibility of grazing goats, sheep, and cows. And at around 15, he could, be grazing a deer and yak a little further away. But I became a monk at age 11.
Can you tell me about that? What happened that made you become a monk at age 11?
아니 빨라 공로 죽지리야 잡았어요와 아니 가르치니 잡아 좀 쓰이나
땅안줄 lumbatilya 다서르데 가르스나 아니 나레르나리아 잡아레리 인지 민지 베 구그레스 데 가르스나 지기 나기다 세지르부 찍다 지 온다르부 증정 친예다 아니 나기 찍다 아란조도 마선에 도와지 고제로체 아니지 염대로 친이 차샤스로지 잡아치 고고도안 세잔디 아니 춘주간에 잡았어요제 난디 단지 댄조도 마선에 알려게스로지 딘데지 아란조 룽바야 다수돌.
So in our region there was the tradition of having at least one monk from a family, and that person, the monk, was a respected member and someone whom the family could, look up to.
And where did you join the monastery, and how close was it to your home?
Pala gomba khadila phevina thabasyoga.
곰바 세라린.
Sera nane tha nyilyo.
세라 다 데리산 두디 전에 나네 Lhasa pato chuzo nilya modeligi sigin nyama ngandu di chitu tane nyuma sum gurel kompajam dorwal lawn.
So these days I heard that from my home to Lhasa it takes only 2 hours. It's only 2 hours drive, but in my days there were no vehicles and it took us 3 days of journey.
To get to where?
Phenpo to Lhasa.
From Phenpo to Lhasa. So you went to Sera Monastery in Lhasa at age 11.
Sera gombala pheverwa tha.
Lari Sera lawn.
Right.
And how long did you remain a monk at Sera Monastery?
네 Sera gombe nalya thabachini khaju shuina.
Seraya trabachen da penje losum just have.
Serenala.
That trabachen Sera trabacheni tajam mapado losum just densha Seraya any ami jigdwa shagashundeta like the tuyat to get under there or
So since joining Sera Monastery as a monk, I remained as one for 30 years.
Okay. When your family selected you to become a monk, and you said it was a form of respect, were you pleased to be selected, or did you wish you could stay home with the family?
탑 나기 파메기 잡았어요고래 송유기로와 아니 디스 파메기 잡았어요고래 송두간에 근데 빨라기 직더바다 중이나 양아 공발 존데민도 나라 덴디 두스 공이나
딘데 요마릴 that ngandu thonsebe pure thabas sevena kazoyor long and that na dedu kange mango steburo wal No, that Poju Soga, Daralu Soga, Papa Soga, No Soga Ganga, any single legature Ganga, Chambu Yutu, and Travis City, Talomni Chen, and Kibu your bed. Then like Sangme Diligu, Cheta, and Kazoyul, long.
I was a village child and I was very happy that I was becoming a monk. And because at home there were many difficult works to be done, like herding the cows and pigs and sheep and goat, and also there was farming to be done. While as a monk, you spend your time in learning, and I liked it.
And how did you get from your farm to Sera Monastery? You said it took quite a while to go.
3 days.
3 days.
journey.
Who accompanied you, and who was there to greet you?
Ta pembune chene sera gomba pebra. Ta di ta nima sums pegu doa. Ani pala la nyamdo susu nyamdo peyona.
Let Pina Serene to
Nane sera
Nane long. Any Titania Pinjata, the Cabano Yamdolia, and it Tade Tindelia, Chota, Zambata, Stakeje, Esra Kiril, long Nane.
So there were a few relatives and friends, and we drove horses and mules, loaded with fuel and sampa.
Was the fuel and sampa to be shared, for your journey, or were there gifts that you were required to bring to the monastery for your survival and sustenance?
Tade Galaya, Chua da Samba de Gamni Nam Piggy or Chua da Samba de Jig Susugi Peju Taya get Tandare, Sera Gombala, Judes Hadugane, and Chicted Chikia Gombala Pugure.
Mari, that is also shall take you and John Meta, Rizambo Sayarwal, so Meta, and Dechi Peju Charimato Comba Pu Maril.
So the fuel and the Tsamba, it was for your own use. You could eat the tsamba, and the fuel was had to be used to make fire, and they were not to be offered to the monastery.
So it was for the journey, for your own use.
Thadi langa la thenda la re, yan phage gomba nang la thenda re di.
Did Gombaran so Naralumne, Tebekaran, Sayatunyagi, me you rain, long.
So they were to be used when I, began to live in the monastery and do my studies.
And was there anyone that was assigned to you as a teacher or a guide in the monastery?
The Gombe na la pep sabdu gane pigela chik susugi gigan da woyamena chik lamtyo nange da bujior susula.
La yoril, that dig Mambuyoril. Tobzen Kigan Senior, Peje Kigan Senior, Kaja Kigan Senior.
Yes, there were many teachers. There was a teacher who taught your prayers. Then there was a teacher who was called a Topsang teacher, and there were other teachers.
What was life like in the monastery with a very different routine than farming? How did you feel about that change?
Gombe nala pedu gane ta misi manda jik cha charwa dingon le nangla shudu gane jik shinge chale nangore semjen choga peworwa ta Gombe nal pedu gane ya pet logarwa en khande dawishiyona
and lega nyuru chi ki wo shus to long that chabamang wochinyam do ru che de ani ji chidang tikzu de nyamdo ma do mirere tikzu ke mogar chi kuyang buta ji wo shus yung to long.
So I found there was less work, and I was very happy, and the monks could all live together, and the rules were also not difficult for an individual to observe. All the monks observed the rules together. So I was very happy.
And how did your life in the monastery begin to change at any time, or did it continue that way for many years? What happened?
Ta Gombe nala ya ta chabachin zurwa. Ta Gombe nala chabachin zudu gane any chabe gi message yorwa. Dila ya Lhasa gyua chiyona ya lo mangbo gyua ma chingni shure Gombe nala.
Gombe nala ya ta lamsa kasoriti hop the kalia dawa jingiro jil da leji meta ji ganga die kudu jane yuburu ji da pige pamada pinja ches ji di du jane ya ji simba chasor jel hop the kal gomale daga ya an ji gegen da ji trabakanga ngoma shembiche dinde ji yidu jane ya negap jil ya dawa jingi ya yuburu stol lawn mengo shembas yo marwal lawn.
So after I came to the monastery, for 1 or 2 months, I felt very lonely because everybody was new and I didn't know my teacher, I didn't know the other monks, and I missed my parents and my siblings.
And then what happened?
And dine any karina be gombenala.
And that dine any gombenalolia, lorobje ya karorubchile. And did you zaneda? Peja tegi and combinal chulak the Juya Jorbal, Shende to a suggestion within data, Tindea Tindeta, and Tung Kelin Lubian, Combegita, Tumuma Betun the Kelin, Dilla Kutuzane, and Aranzo Lozeta, Chiduzane, and Anzo Nyawar Digeti Tung the Kelin Lupu, or Chesa, and ya Tung Kelin Stan Lipchen, and the Lochung is for the Tung Kelin Tanje, Teku or long.
So when one grew older, then you started to learn the scriptures, and then you had responsibilities like serving tea to the monks, and then I learned to play the longhorn and the gyaling, which is like the flute, and I continued to play these ritual instruments for 12 years.
Ah, it sounds like you must have had some kind of a natural talent for these instruments.
Ani gyalagi ta thanda thungda palagi thungda gyaling tende taya jangrwala. Ji ani yanchi susu gi ta yapoda ji yobe yimbare rwela lo chungni stana do.
Lo chungni ti chidu tane ta ngandu de thazanli ya bu deju tambe oril. Thungba shibju tamba ta gyaling shibju tamba. Ti bu deju tambe lo chungni mido kya oril. Lochungni takta gyawra. Antina lochungni masim zelia lochu zene ene saba lochung tawra kondoya. Long lochungni ne ya mido chikherre. And shendal zi tawra. Long tumba jeju da gyaling jeju yor bu.
So there were 80 young monk students, 40 who were playing the longhorn and 40 who were playing the gyaling, and it was mandatory for all the students to play these musical instruments for 12 years. Oh. After 10 years, then new students were taught for 2 years, and then these new students played for another 12 years. So this passed on from one generation to the next generation after every 12 years.
I see. And can the longhorn I can understand, but what is the gyaling?
타탄다 동요라 동릉부들와 디타 뭐 고츠기도 사와 gyaling 디 칸데시요레사
gyaling 되게 제치요레 아니야 딘데스 땅에
we have a chair. Okay.
Where can I bring?
Yeah. Just a minute. We have a sample of a gyaling here somewhere. Oh, gyaling?
Long.
Ah.
Ditten long. Ah. Ditu setting.
So this is how you play.
This is good. Can he play it?
It's not there.
No. Okay. Beautiful. Mm-hmm. That's a very beautiful instrument. And was how long was the longhorn?
네, 동데 링류요나.
동릉부요리. 너무 다 대리산 자갈이야 동춘주서 동안 별이야 동지 순대로 남지 캠시와 동안 동청부든데 동안 뒤에 다녀야지 봐. 어딘데지. 등산 공부도 할 인예생 피우 동안 동대란래. 별이야.
So
릉부요.
you have seen in some of the monasteries in India the longhorn. So it was similar to those longhorns. But sometimes I saw that in India, some of those longhorns have been shortened.
Were the longhorns that you played as tall as a tall man?
Gyalagi di kabla thong tangaya chi orwa thong donzu chik mi gi mi ring sopu ring bu chi gi che digas chi yona.
Nga kapti
thong chi orwa thong di ring lu mi che digas yorwe.
Mi che le ringirila. Long thong ma du se liu sum ma tepji kya yore. Liu sum tepji kyapsna ne mi dwa le ko ya ten ya yorba du chik ten ya du chik ten du san ring bu chag long.
Oh, the longhorns were taller than a man. There were 3 steps, 3 levels, and you could pull one out. You know, when you pulled one out, then you could pull the next one out. It would be a person size, and then you pulled out the 3rd level, and then it became very long.
Were they difficult to get sound? Did you need a lot of lung capacity to make that happen?
둥 뷰르와 네 뷰디오간에 다 슉침부 시부지 뷰구고 깡에 열어 둥 뷰디오간에
레리 동부 jelling 시주 전에 룽조 시라 쳐고를 룽조 수부 쇠야 있다 따지 말한서 별이나 샤마투 숨으로 텐데 사야다 다 수부 슉 전부 야고 쇠야 맞아비나 고 푸디 때가 대오로와 푸접도 전에 네 수부 쪽을 지그리스 전 시주요를 라온.
Oh yes, it used to be said in Tibet that those who are playing these ritual instruments, because they need to blow a lot, they have to practice and then build up their body by eating, meat and butter and rich food.
Mm-hmm. And were there musical notes that you played? Were there definite readings that you had to play the music from?
다 당당해야지 요르와.
레리.
알아. 당당해야 되지기야 탭날마 티션 디네마 로기 당당기 요르웰.
냐마예나 동지 디 슈그들 티아요릴. 슈그들 티니. 아니 다르 슈그들 티샤요릴. 동지 디게 다디네 gel린디 가르치고 그래서나 계지 롤링아우릴 계지 당분이 벗은 버시고가 두고 센 딘데 지도전에 치디게디 롤링아우릴 될라고 접단 줘얼 원디게디 마도시 대구날 따야요 말이 동지디 아니 대구날도 서르모틴 서르무티 딘데 지도 아니 될때니 동던 거를 계제디 롤나우르 마도 슈고 따야요 말고 주고 탭자 때우로와
In the early days, the musical notes for the longhorn was written on paper, and you played the longhorn reading from the paper. But in the case of the gyaling, you had to learn the notes by heart and then play with your fingers.
Oh, I see. And how frequently in like say in a day or a week were the instruments played? How often do they need to be used?
다 동다 gyaling 동주르와 다 니마 딱바 배주 땅난 거래야 둔자 찍스 라 테마 찍스 땅야래.
다디 딘데 마릴 다디 최배 yap제르왈 최배 yap제 인도산에 최저 털 마도질 건주 먼저 배주자 요 마릴 다디에 최저 털 근데르스는 냐마 별이야 아니 최바 다와 미릉모를 최배 녀센스찬이 쉬어요다 표시랑기 다디 마임베 아무 공박할이야 아니 러드 아니 추슈나야를 소바 러드 아니 가서래 기시다야를 소바 딘데 여러 무친 수업에 딘데다 아니 딘데를 마도 건중만주 배주다야 요 말일 공변날이야 다 라마투고 중원에 전에 지도발다 추슈나야를 소바 동고다야를 소바 기시를 하름마다 기시다야를 소바 다 딘데 털 딘데 공전에 생이나 도원 체내 녀센 표래 둥bat 둥지 숨다 gyaling sum sar sum tangor senye yena ane senye ane pegelia dichi du zane chol pi du zane ane shine choba pyogore 가르소를 토마야 저 피드 전에 예선지 피 여기 슈부터가 남산 서저 담부터가 제프 제시 담부터가 제프 엔 담자 샤베 컨틴데 chen 예선 피우를 다그 동전이 빛을 쳐서 최저로마도 간좀 먼저 제된 꼴이야 동전이 줘서 요 말이
So dhung and gyaling are religious instruments, so they can only be used during religious ceremonies and not any other time. So it could be, like when a very holy Rinpoche visited a monastery, then the dhung gyaling players will be informed the day earlier, and then they would get ready for the next day. And normally the musical religious instruments are played 3 times a day.
Pala, thank you very much for that performance. Could you please tell us again the name of that instrument and when would you play that kind of music?
단다 돈 단원하는 투지체 슈기 이타 단다 디기 제시지 겨로 나스 단다 빨라게 땅이야 디 가르레스
너무 다디 동지 신들이 동기식 다참 접대 이내래 강바야 깨도 동지지 강바 마셔도지 꼬라깨도 동지지 와이 말한저 정시 참여다 지버리 군인이 자루지 구거로 봐 세상대 동지다 참 참여이나 강발락접 강들럽저 지하티니 군이 춤부지 구고요래 라온 디릴 치르 띠띠르
So what I've played is the dhung, and the music of the dhung has to go in sync with the performers. Like if this is played during a cham performance, there's a different note for when the dancer lifts up his legs or when he goes around. So the music and the performance has to be always in sync.
Wonderful. How old do you think these instruments were? For how many generations or centuries do you think Tibetans were playing this music?
단당하라서 돈 gelling 당해야지 요르와 다 배바츠기 로 가주스 로 갸자 망르네 딘데 배주라 땅땅 되기요.
땅에만 내다 가저 미도 구멍구멍에다 로 갸자 망부녜네 다르대 지레도안 다수 첨부 지레이션 로.
So these have been used from many generations.
So, Pala, you entered the monastery when you were 11, and you had to practice the instruments for many years and also do other monastic practices. But when did things start to change in the monastery? When was there something different?
Tapala konglu chukji pheptu kane ani gombe nang chabachini phebarwa an dine chene ani susu thong gyane tangya ta gombe gi ta chale khar nang yene dunjo samona nang shu de yorwa an dine gyo khadu chimbre
ani ta gomba dine dus chendita no sedu zane ta duadi ta chekdong gubjang ngapjung nogu ne ani duwa chimbimba ta no
the change took place from 1959.
What happened in the monastery in 1959 is when Lhasa was invaded and attacked. Was there anything different in the monastery before 1959? Or did it stay the same until then?
직동 국경압주 나고라야 안 하살라 마쇼베 투투주 디르왈 잉어즈네 아니 곰베 나야 교와 카르다스 친메비나
다 띵년에 마머충년을 곰바야 주어 미세기 직 근데 첩첨부 주어로 근데 잔에 친요 말일 다 로블롬냐 코랑 체정 너균 시티 파괴가 내버릴 라온 양 주어지 두자르인데 다시 다 되게 중요 말이 라온
So before the attack, there was no particular, a change that occurred in the monastery. Everything went on as usual. We were, learning the text, and the days went on as usual.
I see. And no Chinese came to the monastery before 1959?
아니 직동 국경합 중 아구응엔래야 아니 곰베나라 게미치게래 메이나
곰베날 게미치엘레요 말일 지금 국경업 중 어구응엘이야 곰베날레요 말일 게미강을 해살리요리 라운 곰바베 수디요르왈 댄스 숨 로가인도 리강요리 레요 말일.
So the Chinese did not come into the monasteries. They were in Lhasa, and the monasteries were located in the nearby hills.
Okay. So please tell us what happened then, but we would like you to tell it from what you saw and what you experienced and what you felt, not the general history, which is known to many people, but tell us about your story. What happened when Lhasa was invaded?
Ta Lhasa la ma shorwa. Ndi kabla khari chungi me di ta pala rangi sikpa cherwa. Susu rangi nyamnyo chungma jorwa. Di shero na skaisina shemba lugyu dinde yimba na mi damera khaji mangbo yorwa. Ta mi so gi sikpa ta nyamnyo sabani and di je la khari chungsues.
Lolus. Ta nge nyamnyo nge tudol chungba di ta Lhasa molon trene ngapjung nalia molon trene anil Lhasa ani jangurum buchengi dansa sende gesumlia ani kishil harambe chenda phuni ani gemi da dilia ani kasu suizil tende shugu yin chen jangurum buchenlia binyasan shudwa anyasan shuni jangurum buchengi and the degrees Chen Sunsha.
So what happened in my time was that during the just after the Great Mönlam Prayer Festival got over in 1959, His Holiness during that time had given his Geshe examination, and then in honor of that, the Chinese invited him for a feast, which His Holiness accepted.
And where were you? What was happening to you when that happened?
That di chungbe kableya ane pala tu kawayo na.
Ngatu Lhasa deyu ane dine ane mima kangalo Lhasa ne Norbulingka nal jangurum chempuran Norbulingka nal yore en Norbulingka nal mima kanga tugutu ane cheza ngazu nyamdol chen Norbulingka tuju zane ane pale kungen de nye chumo ge ane jarum chen kundulia jemi peri ni ane jangurum chen tendi shugu yin chen chigun naro nas uyol henga ke suizil tendi shugu yin chigun naro nas chen shuga tendes le so ane jangurum chen she na so cheza ni ma therita tendi shu da moju se di da Tiri ne de lebe mima dige di lakbal yo kiranzu karchiga cheni pale 공연 rinye chumoge ane ma mimalia ane sera naso ane mimage tendi shuchugume chen changme ane lakba kyan ta chik di chesun diga ma devolution digribe ale sam shangan.
So I was in Lhasa at that time, and then I saw that many people were going to the Norbulingka where His Holiness was living. So I also went there, and then there was an announcement from one of the cabinet ministers, Potala, and he announced to the people that 2 Chinese officials had come to invite His Holiness for a feast, which he had accepted, and now it was up to the people whether they would, allow the Chinese to invite His Holiness or not. And then he asked the people what they wished to do, and everyone who were assembled there raised their hands in the air and said, "We will not."
Tell us about that scene. What was the exact question he asked, and what did the people shout back in response?
타 디캅라르와 탄다 공을 팔라 종이 침보여와 코랑기 미망 솔이야 티와 가르꾸나래.
코랑리아타 가르스는 코란타 겨름 붙인 그 구성은 요즘 매주로부터 코란을 코랑타 투리아타 년같이 리듀잖아요. 당 개념을 면도 다과를 시스템이냐 그 근데 지기도 다 되준 된대지리 년같이부리 에디나네 했더니 겨름 붙인 아니 된대 수구이 공고 흑두지마도 진 공고 개부매스 흑두스는 가르 공고스는 다 겨름진 남돌이야 쉽지 미뉴뉴마도 망고치다체 아니 콜라자다치다 케초고 말이스니 딘데스니 그 챕터 제자 아니 미 공원 팔려드니 주목 앵게로 마술 체제 아니 미말이야 계적티와 좀제들인
가르치 간데스티브레 코랑기.
론 아니 덴디 겨름 붙인 딘데스 개미 덴디 슈인스기 요리 제자 덴디 슈주다 뭐주세한테 다 데리 노블링게 날레베 미만 디게 라발 유스 chen 아니 마세라 난소 제단 에세라 나비시숭 메네야 미마게 라고찬 다 저름치 덴디 슈주구메 chen 안딜럽스 딜럽다가 아니 얘네마 판데 공원드니 추모게 다다가라리 덴디 슈모주비나 아니 장으름치 덴디 슈니그 모터 용구리 아니 모터 가우리 chen 디순소.
So the Kalun Pala was the chief security officer responsible for His Holiness's safety, and when the Chinese invited His Holiness to the feast and said that he could take very few security officers with him, and that they were not to be armed, he could not take such a great responsibility singly, and that's why he announced to the people that had gathered at the Norbulingka. He told the people that His Holiness had been invited by the Chinese, and will you allow the Chinese to do this? And he also said, now this is in your hands. And then all the people raised their hands in the air and said, we will not allow the Chinese to invite His Holiness. And then he said, if you will not allow the Chinese to take His Holiness, then their vehicle will be coming to take His Holiness, and so you have to stop them.
And then what happened?
And that gami ki motor yung race, tika race, sungrua. Any courage chungre.
아니 담 노링게 겨우숑고 월 미마 오늘 전에 그 피다 망고 뺀으르스 겨우숑고 월 파도 수 로전의 생장 때문에 강리야 아니 표숑기 때문에 숑고다 통지 소월 저저 주바 소월 죽지를 마 투그리 아니 통지 트레버다가 아니 대비숑고다 있나 마 트레버다가 담 노블링게 겨우숑고 월 미마 딱달 여러와 자장 대비숑 구단 나로리아다 근데로 유메 두균 개미단 되어 치기 유메 미마생의 진노부시라 동안 자장 콘조 가르쳐서 다 디디 개밀이야 저와 요르스 챤에는 콘조 답조슈 맞아 고자선 노블링게나 겨우숑글 마요녜기 다직 가서리다 중지 트레인 마핀이 구다디게 들이야 가실 답조슈소 가셔니다 땅소 맞아 고자서 챤 아니 마 해사마로선 아니 뒤급 뒤도 전에 안주 탄다 간서르는 파골라 긴주 공원 다 지중리 고대시다 권 바과 집에 말 해사마 친수 라운 해사마 친수 아니 레스네 야 아니 신에 아니 디첸 세가슌이 야레스 아니 샤무 팁셰 권 맥시 카레지 권 딘데스 첸 노블링게 겨우숑고 원래선 이게 많이 찾아주노.
So at the gate of the Norbulingka, there were tens of thousands of people moving around, and the assembly meeting normally took place at around 10 and got over at 11. And then some of the aristocrats, they came out, and as they walked out of the gate, the people knew these aristocrats and who had been interacting with the Chinese. And then they started stoning the aristocrats and beat the others who had interaction with the Chinese, and they fled towards Lhasa. And then the monk official who was used to be called Potala Palace Kenchung, he also went away and later came back on riding a bicycle with a hat, glasses, and his face covered with a cloth.
Tinde chen tulo dige pa shungi tab shung kuda tulo pa chawu chabja menaya ani jaje khunja yang ne Norbulingka chawu shungo walen ana kunang pa chen chu chen tinde chen daza mima ge lamsang ngoshin hakun ta pawla kinju degi khodo khon ma chen swan chon ju ten da ya le swan 다 가르치기도 미마 계제 가르치기도 미마 채시 가르도 다디 아니 계제디 계제니 양 우연을 행갈 마 레자가 두레 미디레션 아니 미마게 아니 답조 슈 팁다 슈 간조 먼저 chen 엔 노블링게 겨우숑고 월 세소 롱 데세요 다갈람사 아니 가르쳐버래 미마게 텔라슈 너버죠 반대 때때다 된다케미 주랑 다 디케시스 아니 별슝게 내주 가르임바 디게디 오늘 행갈 마게 오늘 행간게 다인 동금된도 그랑세 제버디 다 디케시스 다 다인 사제 아니 다 두스 데스타 다 기부땅스chen 아니 너버죠 틀리죠 반대시다 때때다 근데 전 노블링게 겨우슝고 더생게 니어리 디 로마디월 센소 라오 메마게 책도 녀도 쿠랑 메네야 윤두시다 멘다시다 키야요 멘다시다 남다시다 켜 근데 차서 렌두시다 키야 동아 라오 메마지.
So this official, he had changed his clothes into a Chinese dress, and then he began to move around the people, and then the people recognized him, and they said, that this is the person who is observing what we are doing here, and then he's going to report everything to the Chinese. And then they started stoning him, and right under there are two stone lions there at that place, and he was killed right there. And then people clapped and threw dust and spit, and then some of the women, they beat their aprons and said, now you enjoy yourself. You thought of reporting everything that the Tibetan government and the people were doing to the Chinese. Now you can, enjoy yourself. You have been bribed with hundreds of thousands of silver coins from the Chinese. And this person had also, concealed a pistol in his clothes, and he also, had shot in the air.
What did people think he was going to do with that pistol?
그 맨날 렌존 지키도와 참도 파골라게 켄존디 렌존디게는 그 가래를 치고 싸미나
다 디미유디 그다 독자르지 슈부지 최시 제외 인저 왔다만도 디레시아미도 미만 길리 겨버리데 이내 그 한다 미만 세균 중요 말이 라고 그래 남다 겨위 있나다 당음도 제외 있나 가래 있나 하고 면도와 라고 면도 키야딘데 첸 키샤 아니 그 데센이 아니 강바 타고 겹제 안 파원날마 제브리 제니 gem이 가르셔요래다 밀미다면에 롤러로다 유스로만도 찌제고 유스천이 gem이 배송 딘데스 르비오릴 자자 아니 로데 손주랄메게 베브릴 라운 두체 안탕만도 디게딘 노블링게날 엘란자 대유 라운
So he had a pistol, and though he must have had a very bad objective in bringing a pistol with him, but when he fired in the air, nobody was killed. Perhaps he was alarmed by the situation, and then after he was killed, a rope was tied to his legs, and then the corpse was dragged towards the center square, and then the Chinese told the Tibetan government to hand his body back to them, but it was buried in the Sumchurawa, and I remained in the the Norbulingka.
The Chinese, could they actually see that he had been stoned to death, and they then where were they watching from that they could see this, and then they requested that the body be returned to them? So where were these Chinese officials who said that?
The gyamigi dinde labarwa that manzula rochu te shows dinde labiorwa and the kenchon the sebada that dig dunzu chaza kunjugi gyamichugi kandes jin tagi tadeyona kane togena
mixegi ta di qablia gyamita phaba jawa yo mari khande chigina neju khunju kyangda nalia jawa chigi yo ina khande ina ta nganzo noblinga na zui de teorwal romige pe thar ta khunju kyangda nali shegi yo ina khande chena tiang na sebuji shaya mindul.
So I do not know what type of contact they had with the Tibetan people then. Perhaps, they were using the loudspeakers.
I see. I wanted to clarify something. When you said the Tibetan government officials were leaving, and that you said the people targeted those that had interactions with the Chinese, did you see with your own eyes what was done to those officials and how seriously they were attacked or injured?
총도 최대간에와 다 고자서 마 페드디 도베 갑래야 아니 가셰리야 다 개미냠도 제와 요리 슬랍체 아니 미망속이 도슈 제브와 아니 dunzu 도슈 세기 다 고자지요와 dunzu리야 간데 메스웨 다지 냥가 차르 메요나 dunzu 아니 발라기 시요죠
아니 dunzu 다 디나마 가르송으로 답조 쉬야 쉬 집단 쉬야 쉬 건주 문주 쉬로 맞아 고자 채는 프랑스 공수수 바와가 개버 모던al 티제 노블링게네마 소소소 래사야 소소 심샤리아 티두르왈 급디도 군도야 매견으로 근데 중요면 섭치 중 근데 중요면 맞아 노블링게 나주대 요리 안전양 안주 디야 세부 쉬야매 나온 쉬야 단대 쉬를 다 지랑스 되게 드렸다 매제 고제 진행 지랑스 되게 드세 마르타비니 마땅송한 나온 메가야 군주 팀저로 근데 제유메디 가소를 맨주 근데 제유면 섭치 중 근데 제유메디 양아샤메 롱.
So yes, they were targeted and stoned and they were bleeding, and then they were taken away in their motorcycles or vehicles or whatever back to Lhasa. And how serious the injuries were and how they were treated, I have no knowledge because I continue to remain in the Norbulingka.
And they were taken away on motorcycles back to Lhasa by whom?
아니 콘수 바바다 다든데 모데나리 Lhasa 파 수기티니 도이나 고자던조.
단도 쿠란도 님돌이야 셈베요리 요보 모터이나 제보 요리 바과다스날 셈베티야 요리 요보 쿠란도 모터 단두리 바과단 캡전 두리 카셴 고다 소소스 바과셴 두리 카셴 모터 제보스타 티제 근데 요보 티인구리 나오.
Yeah, the aristocrats have drivers, they have attendants, and some of them rode their own bikes.
I see. So they weren't taken by the Chinese; they were taken by themselves or their own drivers.
The kunju gyamigi ti mare so ran dosha gyorwa.
Re. Gyamigi wo mar ta so special namje tinde lega chi worwal.
No, they were not taken away by the Chinese, but they were doing these things, with the Chinese because they were greedy for money.
Mm-hmm. About how many people were having that meeting and how many that came out among that group, how many of that group were targeted? How many in general and how many were targeted?
타나로리아 초중 초기열와 디갑리아 아니 총에 미망려요나
전주다 구다 가주스 지여다 네 양나세우 쉬야시 매롱
마 대용에 나라 가주지
마 대용도 전에 노블nga jago shiyore jago shine noblunge jago shungu wone ma chel hesa donyen 가족이 당연히 격을 하고 장군 누구 세니어리 참말로 초실이야 심샤 소소소 유튜브에 누굴링가 나는 많더니 딜라 구다 배진 접주 삼마신 딘데지 여부다 아니 안 격고 가시 유튜브 초핀주 근데 태이나 하고 말와.
So I do not know exactly how many aristocrats were there, but when they came out, I think they were around 10, and the Norbulingka had 4 gates. There were gates in all the 4 directions of north, south, east, west, and I wouldn't know from which gate any of them left.
I see. And the man that was stoned to death, you said that he had changed back into Chinese clothes, not Tibetan. Did he think, I mean, it seems like Chinese clothes would make him more of a target instead of wearing Tibetan clothes. What do you think of that?
나 참도 파골라게 켄준지여와 켄준디 당부 표제때 아니야 파칭이 개미 두로 거는 수용으로와
네.
다디스디 개미 두로 거바이나 다 미마데데 좀살을 윤두가네 년가 차저부지여와 오늘 제리나 근데 그때 가르치는 제리스 공대
최장가 야구르잖아 다 소소 표제디 파비 가저 권자 윤두 전에 체주 면라 진두 전에 라군 딱진으로 차제 딱 그런 배 딱진으로 차버와 제단 디믹스에 딱 그런 십다를 참비나 가리네 딱 마두데 대부분이 고도 권전 마침브레 하고 요래 나야 윤두 전에 방제 소리 배제 윤두 전에 야는 그런 미 하고 말이 섬제 체로가 배제 용부이는다 야는 그런 십다를 참유는다 간다 미마승이 진노브로 남사 모신 그 되게 고도 권 마침스와스 딱 구돈 뜨도 권 개미 샤모 탭샤 권자 카레테 안딘데스천이 용과 좀제 가이나스다 원다 미마강가 하고전에 고란 치단디에 로가리 노블링겐날 미마강가 라안진 개별전 되고 고 바과슌사 세가슌 파파 친 투수친 다 비게 미마루루 요사 계자 가르치기도 때 디종원이 계자 가르치기도 때 딘데 용보처가 용동안 둘로 제부접전을 내우리 롱.
Yeah, exactly, because he would be easily spotted if he wore such an different outfit. But perhaps it was he felt that he might not be recognized, or perhaps his time of death had arrived. But the people were very clever and they recognized him, and also because he was moving around the people, trying to listen what one group was saying, so to be able to report.
Mm-hmm. And then tell us what happened to you inside the Norbulingka.
아니 겔라 노블링가 날 슈두가 딱 가르충래.
아니 단 노블링가 날 두스 대두잖아. 단 안도 되게디 켈렘바 당라레. 당라 힌두잖아. 단 안도 겨름 붙일이야. 아니 재미 된데 슈 죽으면서 저는 안도 켈렘바 인 전에 노블링가 건달 대전. 노블링가 건달 때다 미게 가수래 현다 대서만 안도네 다 다른 거를 주로서 요말 노블링가 건달이야. 샤고숨네 안티네 베숑기 다 켈렘베이나 아니 키란주다 레로브 요말 강가 야침베 디그마리 키란주 아니 타바이나 타사 가바이메 타사 카레이메 감제 카레이메 아니 키란주 게게 카레이메 게게 민 카르시기 요메 다가는 신게 해사야 몰론초드 몰론네자 가바이메 다 돈주고 민다 강베 카장다 제다 차자 엄게 제전에 아니 신에 노블링게 나로리아 디게디요나 아니 신에 노블링게 나리아 아레리신에 땅게돌 당란첸다 켄리미첸 노블링게 나리아 주사를 long.
So we were there as volunteers to stop the Chinese from inviting His Holiness, and since we came from quite far away, we had no way to sleep, and so we slept at the gate of the Norbulingka for 3 nights. And then, in order to be allowed to enter the Norbulingka, the Tibetan government officials said that they needed more information about us volunteers, and so they took our details, like where we came from, the name of our section in the monastery, the house, our teachers' names, and where we had rented a room during the Great Prayer Festival in Lhasa. And after supplying all these details, then we were allowed to enter the Norbulingka.
I see. Pala, at that point, when you left Sera to come to participate in the people who were trying to prevent His Holiness from going, were you still wearing your monk's robes or had you left them behind?
Pala dikabla Sera ne chene Norbulingka le ya ta thanda mimangi kyanguru buchen ta gyagmi gi dende shudu kane ta dende shuchu gu me singe nal pherwa dikabla ya ane thaje chene che yodo
ma thaje khon yo maril thaje khon me thaje khon besel
lao
thaje khon me kya khon je ani Norbulingka dudu tane dinal ya teach put bagwa pudunal teach che ani nganzo ro wa minga khashe menda chigan dinde ju menda chigan da ju du je ju em ma shin menda pamle dinde ru yu de yu de ne zang shan min rum chen ke chu marwa ma di de je ju de du se pudunal ki anzu kya je khon je Norbulingka na ya chen bi Norbulingka na chen chan da ya ju char re ya ju chani ani da ye ge le du tane da nganzo ya ani lakcha ku tu chen shong li ya nya san chu nganzo lakcha me na adina nganzo tu chu sha be de min du lakcha te ro chi chen ya nya san chu ni phe shong ge le ne ge lakcha te na yo ma re shu go nyu ma ni chen ni ani mi re re le ya kha su mi shi le menda inji khadum bar chi re te ta de de min du nganzo ki tu ni ma re 아니 랑자 때나 때브레 마테나 엔 데브숑 콤조 돌그이 스찬 도스샤야 녀산 슈르 라우
So I was not dressed in monk's robes. We were 5 colleagues and we were all in lay people's clothes, and in the sleeve of my dress I had a long knife, and we had a gun between us with 16 bullets. And then once we were inside the Norbulingka, we requested the government officials to provide us with weapons, but for 2 days they refused to give us. And later, they distributed 1 gun for 4 men. And then we told them, that we were not dog watchers, that you supply 4 people with 1 gun. And we threatened that if we were not given more weapons, we would raid the armory. Menda mangamate rina ngazu komju talking is.
Da dine ya shugo nyasan shun. Da menda tena te shu tuzu shira du dus. Da 마저 얘는 대부분 검조 가르쳐야 인베스 가지고 또 그인스 검조 또는 검조 나네 아니 멘달랭가 두고 인스 채널 랩chen 아니 슈고야 아니 간도 그룹 레르리아 브링겐 직체 아니 미레르를 멘다 인디케tum 레르체 다 동금 직체 아니 인디케tum 벌리아 다 십주 미레르테 시바딜리아 브링겐 직체 안 딜리아 다 동금 직체 아니 두스천 테브릴 다 두스 테듀 자네 아니 콜랑자 테베 디기요 마리 아니 슝글레고네 카산 검조나네 뜬듀 자네 안 디그리스티게 두고 마르차다 아니 디컵리아 안간조 멘다 식디치아 싱기요 마리다 차바다 미제 강글로 난디 식디 친엘리아 아니 안조나리아 첩제 마미 숨예 첩제 마미 숨부디 아니 가르쳐버렸다 안졸로 정도 마선에 대자 콘조 마음엔다 돈도 식디체 안출리아 그 출리 뚜 미지께 출로 뚜 안돈도 뚜 산다 그런 슈트간 띵감 감산단에 아니 신에 아니 멘다 돈도야 지야다 식디차 돈도 안 그런도 만도 열럽 안 딘데스 챤니 아니 라자 때네 탑슈럽데 안타 안가로 접신 버시테 콘조 럽챤니 아니 딘데스 챤니 라자도 차장 때요리 라운
So we requested that time was passing by, and what was the armory for if the weapons could not be distributed and be used? And so finally, for each group, they gave one machine gun, and each of us there were, armed with a English-made short barrel rifle and 40 bullets each. And then, but just receiving the guns was not enough, because the gun's cartridge was filled with grease. So these had to be cleaned before the gun could be operated. So the cocking could not be achieved when there was grease and filled within. And so, there were 3 soldiers of the apchu with us who, boiled water and then washed the guns using soap. And then the guns were dried. And then they taught us how to assemble the guns. And then we were able to, trained to shoot a gun. And so there were men, lay people and monks who, who were assembled there but did not know how to use a gun, and they trained us.
That was the Jushi Gandruk who were there? Who trained them?
The Trapchi soldier.
Oh, the Trapchi soldiers.
Tibetan government soldiers.
Tibetan government soldiers, thank you. When these 5, you were 25 years old, and you said 5 men had left with you from Sera. Had you decided to renounce your monks' vows at that time and join the fight, or was that something you decided on the spot?
Tiduane Kulu Nisenga Risha Pala. Roba Minga Yorwa. That number 2, that Tava Indukane, any Tapigelia, that Zinga Pedukane, that Tavi Dombachi Yorwa. Dombadia Puyuna, Jikpuya, Tapuya, Gichashi Yona, Kandina.
No, you say that you do want to come to Tabare. Domba Puya is that some Chia Yomatata. That's all too, Sarri, Papa Generesi, in this channel, that Gami, Zinjo Chavin, and to Tombesta Ledare. Dombe some Chia, the Papa Generesi TV in the tongue and the ship that chemist, that's all been doing is. Papa Generesi, the meditation, that Zane Dimasons, to do Zane, Dombe some Chia Yomatal. Generesi, Kura, Ranta, Gami, Piget Casurta, go to each channel. Mune dachi kungo raktu chile mes chan thagas kwal ya thi jan pe meb sun pe sagri chama to kap tu dang zu tomba sta samlo che khu mi dul mi sembe na ngamda horange so so gi chik tomba gaya to so so samlo che mi du so so lo dan sar ba da chadang lo dan sar simba kaso so chadang lo dan sar.
So at that point, there was no thought of vows, no thought of giving up the vows or anything, but we were only worried about His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, and his safety. And then we had given up on our lives already by being there, So we thought, if we didn't do something, the Chinese would take away His Holiness. And that was our only thought.
At that point, there were still no shelling of Norbulingka or of Potala Palace, had not occurred yet. But it sounds like there was a great deal of fear that you were going to actually have to, by force, protect His Holiness from being taken away.
Ta kari yina mena kyanguru bichingi thendala yang azu chik chena zengu thuguri ta shigu thuguri dinde chik samlo ji yorwe
Lari dirda so le tang sarta pora tengdi le dang re le dang re bet ngan zo perang so le tang sarta pago chere si ta bet dinde chen kemi tibi yana tang ngan zo nogun chasus nane digmi du chen ngan zo so le tang nobling na ya chimbrta dine eni shine ta tik yegi na lo ya Ani tamma kyadang ko digeti ta ma shuyin long ani yagelle char tagalamsa ani tangandu tobzang digeti yor dina lebdaga ta chigi chigliya tani khajam shani ani chinde cha chumbu tonzo sayada ani roba chigi chil megyon chonsuna na diliya tani chanjo chia mebada shimero meina se menda kemne se ma to chigliya ani mesuna na ani khol tongbal teje debena an sosoe nyamdo shigri chen manzu tobzang digeti khajam tama di shawarda ta chinde yuna sas chigil chinde te roba che tinde tuzu yo maris tan ulinge na lo le san so le tan saris gemit ne khatu juyo khatu menda ke khar che ro me ha khoya yo maris chen on tinde chevril che zanga tam chen liya de ma ta chen liya ta shuyin ani ta gemini chena hon tinde lo dra manda yugudul 땅안도 표발은 가려서나 안들로 유야다시다 요 말이 가려서나 동예 동시다야요리 마미 동지 이코라 때니 때니 걔라 가르치기도 저는 달홀 냥가도 잘 냥가도 전대 숨고요레스 제가 아니 당안도 된데 미디게 노블링게 날 고셔때요 개고 카실이야 고셔때도 전에 당안도 송을 개골 호골 캐르 안도 나로리아 아니 쇼달하숨 타야가 망감바 아니 다가나신게 세레 타와 드분 타와 간데 타와 망부 요 되게 딜이야 당안도 먹지디 공을 시작해 버려 어따 딘데스 chen 공을 시작해 버 가카르나요레 어따 소소소 사자티 숨겹 chen 대범마도 소소 사자 샤니 셴달 chen 자니 디그 마레스 chen 공게 가디나 아니 만도 되게 디원다 카셰 노블링게 나로리아 레디 날때 카셰 노블링게 칠롤마 아니 무르제 나로리아 안 로레스니 공마칙 무르제 날치 공마칙 노블링게 아니 셔리 간리아 레디스 두스 대전 아니 타마르데 어딘데스 챤니 로레스 챤니 카셰 칠로 두디 카셰 나로데 카셰 칠로 두디 카셰 나로데 다 칠로 로레 케베 슐리아 모델랑가 티 다가란 요르 두스 챤니 야 노텔링가 두그레 마 팁치졸링 두그레 챤가 모더 두기 되그레 다 두디 챤니 가르치고 딱 안주 미게 모르잖아 둔제 대고머리 이네게 짜게 챤 비 딸구이 돈도 탱 330 돈도 따 된데 치고 왔다 안주 다지 치도 전에 아니 선인데 콘랑도 탕거리 용제 안 탕거리 나루야 아니 멘다톤도 카틱제 용제 아니 굴리서다 미 레가신이 카셰 티제 용제 아니 비질니 따르톤도 가야다 삼배 섬싱난도 탱거르 톤도 사바 가야다 디게 데첸 콘도 니메콘 도스 용거르 당안도 첸 도ጆ루거리 콘도 니메콘이 시나 켄메바 모다탄 딘데스 용구도 라운
So we had given up on our life. We had given up on our life when we entered the Norbulingka Palace, and because we feared if our God, our Loketeshwar was taken away, we would all be left in darkness. And at the Norbulingka, my 5 colleagues and I, we discussed among ourselves, and then left an oral will with our friends by saying that if one of us was injured, the others should shoot and kill him immediately, because there was no time to look after an injured friend, no time to share blessed pills, and so whatever blessed pills we had, we took it at that time. And then the attack took place at night. The Chinese had very powerful flares that they used in the night, but the Tibetans, Chinese used flares to give signals, but the Tibetans only had trumpet. And I was told the sound of note of the trumpet at one point said there's danger in the south or there's danger in the north. And the people around the Norbulingka, we were divided into groups, and I and my colleagues were at the south gate, and along with us were people from Shotalhasum and then Markham. They were monks of the 3 great monasteries, and our chief was Shakapa, and he ordered that each one of us had to remain at our own post and not move anywhere else. And so some of us remained just within the boundary of the Norbulingka, and we had put up ledges where some of us sat, and some were just outside the gate in trenches, and we were assigned duties of either being inside the Norbulingka fence or sometimes outside. And when we were outside, there was a road nearby where every day and night Chinese vehicles moved about, and in the night we would try to sabotage the bridges or pull out Chinese wires, and But in the morning, they came out with tanks, armed, equipped with guns, and then repaired everything. Gyami kuba da samba thola tangyo dozu sanyi shoge Quran yungne ya subju gyapshagi yorwa.
Leril sugori. Quran sugori. Long ta tinde sendi tene ta nganzu peje tunda chikje janganzu ta sabu na dus devri nobling na lol. Anda dine ane shine ta kumachi. An nobling na lol ya ta kusung re ta nganzu mi tige te kanga lo debe kan ya nyumachi ane di chayasun kasarben 다 알랭이다 첨자 집에서 찬스 때 이내게 재미있다 만주 산점도 간소를 먹을 때 대두 전에 로다 만다 유고도 마치 남랑한 능신기 로 가슴하고 코란 간가 요니 가르치고 버스는 다 대군저 사자 초산 간소 샤장으로 가발이 년가 유명하게 딘데게 로우토네 군저 다텐 딘데 치기도 전하고는 배 신앙도 배 남랑한 능시 믿어봐 누구 연예계 통해야 된대 로유야 동안 딱 안주 디게딜이야 다테니 동예동치랑 요리 동예동 디 담스나나 안다 동벌 다 견라 가르치기도 시도전에다 다 지난주 홀이야 년가 두가스 섭서치선 쓰기 요리 동지날 원두스 천 다사 사자 소설이야 안스나고는 딘데 스트니 다테레천 두스 데브리 다 디네 안에 공마직 다 군도 가서 우리 저긴 레송 저긴 레네 안다 드리 군달리 실로리아 촌에 미직 친초고 말이스 강걸로 나로 대우로마도 고자가 연구리스 고자가 연제 주비이나 엔년가 처그리 제단 딘데선다 엔 드리 수직 칠로 친초고 말이스 천 고강가 권자 geb제 디미 키제 미켓 식당 마손 자잔 때디 컨데 가르지나 섬다 도나세 뭐좀 현자다 대리 칠로 줘야 민두선 강걸로 바페으로 chen 두스 대리 고자가 연구했어 안직 디치도 전에 아니 디선이한테 단유마 숨친 차를 양랑자리 상아란도 마 칠로 돈에 칠로 두그리 나로리아 때냐 나로 되겠다 군인 로리 치고 봐 근데 제가 단유마 숨고 털리한테네 공마직 토라 주주니바 스칠리아 아니 비릉간 따기도 브릉 야다 참마송 섬다 딘데진에다 그게 슈처처 두고도 체 아니 어딘데질레 되네 찬리아 주주니베 제톤리아 아니 슈처처 되네 다 맨데타스 호야 민두 다 메르조시다리 merjo khoran namlu khora temne merjo khoran temne tai noblingen na lol kusunga yore kusung magalia merjo yore da di khate chanye robti kusung magage kemilia khate chegor madoshi yayolia magasta peshung magasta khaba yunang anjun hakuwa mangan noblingen na te dewa an kusung magage ma jabtilia khate chan chayangkha merjo josun lama chen da diuse 생각 때문에 산쇼데 아니 추주 개와절 딘데질 아니 다 고르자가 치면 노블링게 나로리아 다 식나 빼면서 양고tin데 떠비어리 식나 되게 됐간가 그럼 메토 그dumdumchen 노블링게 챤세 포랑 나로리아 지다다 아니 가서 굴로 메토 좀 지냐 말 당안도 돼서 저리 지다다 적도 그렇다니 아니 미가 산시다 투이션 별 랍돈스 딘데스 사야 투이션 딘데스 쇼게 딘데스도 다 딘네 아니 미메벌라다 다 시바다 코라 노블링게 나로다 구성한다 패치세사샤 아 다가는 신가람 좀 미마세 아니 돈이야 민도 추제다 세기도 직강버 대두고도 고 대두고도 수부 대두고도 전에 진행 호르마 다 로페야 민도 아니 지기질리 심바줘야리샤 다 파치 엔내상치 다 만장주 다 시야리스 다 심바줘야리 다 지랑주 고르자와 도야 민두 센두스라 안 추주 개바 젤리아 아니 제 보달 할리게리아 안 메르죠 접송 메르죠 접송 보달레 뱀베 젤 태송 뱀베 젤 태수데 메셰마송 양조 직접수 팀만이 접수 me shemaso. On that dine chen, and that should be Kaba Google and any mergo tarab. Page chance, na. Chani, and that one that should do. Nimekunta jamding reta, Norbulingka ya janyen mindu ina manitan, Javya tundu some much of her water, ya lent and you marry. Chazanta, in this Tinga to ten Quanda, Celia, and Shine da Yene not Kasurita, Norbulingka, Norbulingka, Molia, and the Amdota, Gologota, Tindeshire. Don't to show Giliorita, show the car shield in this Shadutane. And shine Katiware, that conjure water, Jono Gunjono was shungi, and Chirachime, Chibatonzo, Kalia, any Purgi Chimbatonzo, Dalia Tungut, any Tagwe Tongus, and it Dasha Sichen, Doyungudu. That Kabatuga citizen, or that Jarum Jahal and the shoot her. That don't see that in this on that, and it down between ten issues, and the time to dinner lolia conjure. And when it and that's a castle, Papa 7 and Shinchin, say a rima to that damn a day, or Maris, such a lepchen, and a man to conga, Norbulingka Nane, Chilor, my temper. That Chilor turned to the Langa to good to lake me, meant that Jimmy Mango said, La. Don't to Kunjo cutting it, that's a much chonchen, and that. Norbulingka Nane, my turtle, Chombrid, Norbulingka Nane turn. And it did conduct Langaliam and the Jaggy, and Damrenal Chim and Damrenal Merco, Tabshagat and Merco, Tabjanis and Namla, Kurgutu, Merco Deputies and Damrenal, Damporan Namla, Digan, Mr. Betman, named and teaching that to look when I marry. Oh, and it. Mendach Kiayu, Dashibu Tamkiayo Mato, Saya, Tunya, Kake, to glow the Chitachi, Matam, Norbulingka Nane, Mara of Tangent, those yombre, Norbulingka Nane yon, that you conducted to send any Sera Liachi, Serachin, that Norbulingka to show so. That damn at them in those send, Lepchen. On that, I'm Dotonto Dashan, John was it, then it in the Chente, Yangurumbuchi, then they shoot her race, Yagalia. Then they come to Kangalo, that damn madam in do, stung unto 2 years and 12 young bread. That's the Rayachi.
So we were in the Norbulingka for around a week, and in the night, the Chinese threw powerful flares, which were in different colors, white, yellow, red, and then it was very scary, and they were so bright that you could see everyone who was walking around, and the Tibetan people had only, the trumpet to give signals to each other, and some of the people who could, understand the trumpet notes told us that we in the south would have to be careful because there was danger at that point, and then one night, one of the officials came there and said there'll be an inspection soon, so none of you can go out of Norbulingka that night, and everybody had to be within the boundary of Norbulingka, and they locked all the doors, gates, and then I thought it really strange why they had done this. But the next day everything went on as usual. We exchanged duties. And then the following night, and it was around 2 in the morning that the bombardment began. There were the sound of machine guns, and then it became more and more powerful. But gradually, we couldn't hear gunshots, but it was all artillery shelling. And in the Norbulingka, there was the security army who possessed artilleries, and they retaliated. And other than that, I don't know where the Tibetan government armies were stationed. I had no knowledge of that. And around, 8 in the morning, I just walked around the Norbulingka, and I saw the beautiful trees of Norbulingka all cut by shelling. And then the areas around the zoo and other places were flattened, and there were huge holes in the ground, and innumerable injured and dead people lying around. and most of the security army had already been killed. And it was dreadful, there were people who were injured in their hands, in their legs, in their head, and some were saying, "Give me water." It was a very sad sight. And then I went back and told my colleagues that we would all die. And then they started shelling the Potala Palace. And then I could see the shell land on the red portion of the Potala on the top, which is called the Pemba. And then they shelled 2 times, but there was no fire, thankfully. And then it subsided. And towards evening, while I was still at Norbulingka, in another gate of Norbulingka, there were the people from Amdo and Golok, and they came out, towards where we were, driving some government horses, and they had made bridles out of ropes. And I asked them where they were going, and they replied that His Holiness is escorted to India, and then we have to go. And it's no use remaining here. And that's when we left Norbulingka. And even as we continued to leave, the Chinese kept firing on us, and many were killed, but I survived. And then a little away from the Norbulingka, there's a swamp, and I could see, when the shells fell into the swamp, mud rose up, and hit the people who were there. And I had a gun and 40 bullets with me, but nothing to eat because I had come straight out of the Norbulingka. And then I went to Sera, and there I gave the message that His Holiness had already left for India and that it was no use remaining there. And then everybody started fleeing.
What was your reaction when you heard the Dalai Lama, His Holiness, had left? What did you feel in your heart?
다 갤라기로와 갤라기 다 규주직래야 다 탄다 암도다 골로돈주마 용두가네 아니 쿤주기 갤라래야 다 깜그름 부치 갸갈롱발래야 덴데 슈차레스 갤라래야 쿤주기 라브와 엔 뒤뒤가네 갤라기 투나래야 가리다지 초와 lep스웨
네 로르스 다 nganzu sembe na lo jangrum chen podang le shuyu samba chen ni tap de une lo da changma chen sarol da de yin du konzu da jono gun da be jangrum chen tang den de shu sar da jono gun si tu tan hop de khala de ni sembe na la ka zo shibu jil le da de song da yin na da nganzu goya di ris da yāram buchīng āntu tīne tēndē shūma tūka kāngmē tē dēyor chō kāngā chāgi tūm jēn dēyor tā tēndē kēndē shūgu nā āntu tīka nūgulīngē nā zūyō tsārī yāngurum chīn nūgulīngē nā shūyor tā chīlō mā dī chēn shīgēl pā kēndē tēndē shūgu nā sāmbē sēmbē nā liyā bē kāngmē shūbuchī tē chā dēyor tīndē hīndū tsāne hop tī kāl nīlō mūsōr chāne yāram buchīng yāgal tēndē shū nyuma sūm chēn tsār rēs āntu tā nūgulīngē chūgu tsāne 다 nyuma sum chin sa ju zane da jangbe shita karo jangbe che tsar da da pa pina pa chena da jidang chen da yaga sandam pa lejo yore ja da sembe nal kazo shibu chung da ina shine gyoba me pakwa chenre si da une tende shu chan da shine gyoba me ine da pe rangu khandu chen roya rima to jing chig tamje dewe na da ane shimaru kuni shiyagi tende nyanga yore se ane rangu khandu chen nublinga nane temper sembe nal kazo shibuchil pak to me one no
at that time in our heart we were sure His Holiness was in the palace. And then, these people, the Amdo people, they come saying, we have to go. And then suddenly, there was so much joy. And I said, this is what we want, We are all, every one of us here in the Norbulingka Palace are wondering how to get His Holiness out of the palace. And now he's been gone 3 days. So it was like a dream, In 3 days, he would have reached far away, reached China, or maybe he was nearer to the Indian border. And then I thought, even if I die now, I would have no regret. But, I was moved as fast as possible to try to save my life.
Pala, you came to Norbulingka with 5 monks from Sera. Can you tell us what happened to them during the shelling of Norbulingka? And were there any other monks that came from from Sera, excuse me. Were there any other monks from Sera that joined you, or were you the only 5?
Gela page pidi gane ropa chaba shemba nga yo sungwa Sera ne ani ropa shemba nga di maimba ani page shupe kala ani sere gombe chaba dinde page le yang washing and de nyam do joryo na
na dudu chane mishra yore lawo ta ale topsana chikbar chiliya minga ta thap chik cheje nyam do yom ma do shen wo shen mangbu yor topsho loga chebe tinde mangbu yore lawo.
Oh, there were many people there, but what I meant was 5 of us, me and 5 colleagues were in a group. We were in a group, and there were many different groups there.
But were there other groups there from Sera, or were you the only people from Sera, the only monks from Sera?
Topsan shemba nalia sere chaba dinde yore ya pala number 2 chekpore Sera ne yunge.
Tabashira yore mijaye yore nyamdolia chaksinyaksire nganzo pede 가수래 나 dob장지 민가 제마도 신 비가 배 그룹 그런 착신양 쓰찬다 님도 대고래 라린
there were many there were many monks, there were many lay people. It was a mixed group.
I see. And how did the 5 people that you were your group, how did they survive?
딱gelagi ropannyamdo chabanga yorwa kunsungal 가르침이나
kunzungal ngane minni shosul라 long ngazu ma thön yu tsani kemi men da kepje shosul라 minni shos다 misum tasul long.
From the 5 of us, 2 were killed as we emerged out of Norbulingka, and 3 survived.
Did you have any special protective amulets that you wore as part of this defense?
다 page sungyap nangbe kableya ani pala la chik sunga dinte ani yona sunga dinte chuya yona di kableya
le yul ta tunga de shira yor ta tunga de 가르스나 ta chik sunga khage namsa dinde ta jangurum chen namsa ta chik dinde tunga mangbu yor 가르스나 ta di diu tonglen chiar dinde ta chön mandu yar dinde ta dinde yul ta ngale de 직제다 마이 주다 마이 드니 친데리 친데 chen 프라세서인 다 직제지 대윤 직제
So yes, there were many protective amulets that we had, and these they were protective cords made from the cloth pieces of deities and His Holiness the Dalai Lama. And I have one protective amulet called Jikche Mahe. The Mahe part is blessed pills, which I have already consumed, but the other I have here.
Oh, I would like to see them. Would you be willing to show?
현재 줄 필요마도 신디 님은 벌써 요마를 미신달 된 요마래 다 데리 우도 이제 다 배주 채는 마도 지금도 와 나온 당원에 계지 텐지를 운인도 있잖아요 준비 시간이 나온.
So this is not normally this should not be out in the daylight or shown to other people, but since this is a very important occasion, I would like to show it to you.
변에 연도다 케야스나 가르스네 디리다 디다 아니 맨다체 현다사야 동야스다 케케요 말 라온 가게 춘순 다가라 겹줘제 용거다.
So this is the only article that I had with me when I escaped from Tibet, because there was nothing else. This and my gun.
두가 콜루다 간데 직제레바다 시다 망부 요르티다 베드루유산 차베지다 시다 조로알 베치니민도 롱.
There were many other protective amulets too, but we had to travel through rain and other due to the bad weather, all of them have been damaged.
hold it out.
Dine sin nanda nganzu.
Just hold it. We
Parla
can see
de
it.
ya.
A little lower.
Pala chanzu di pat sha na rwa. Dine
Okay. Okay, turn it down a little more. That's it. Yes. Good. Okay. Oh, his hand's shaking. Okay, Marty. Yeah. Excuse me. By making dire offerings. Pala, thank you so much for showing that.
Pala nganzu di nganzu la di tena bari kuji che shue yin.
Oh,
This
can we see the top of it?
다 대리 계지 튼제링은 권다세야리 다 가와있네.
Normally I don't
Show
empty
people.
out. Yeah.
Was it okay that we?
Yeah, because this is a very important occasion.
Yes. May we see
So I'm going to seek forgiveness for
doing this? Okay. May we? So who gave you that? Wait, before he puts it away, can we just see the cover of it? Pala.
nganzu
One
di
minute.
gyamshe de chikte nanda thanda gawu gi gyamshe de
Yeah.
chikte nanda
Yeah.
thagara no
Turn it around. Like, let's see. This is the Dalai Lama.
Yeah, hold it
kyangrum
there.
chikuba chikwa.
정으로 찍고 봐.
Hold it like that.
Yes,
Good.
it's a picture of His Holiness the Dalai Lama.
I see.
Still.
Hold it. It's very beautiful. Very beautiful. And was this the original? Keep please to hold it still. Was this the original picture? The original picture that was in that box when he carried it?
근데 델리에 kyangrum chikuba chikwa pala. Kuba di nyema ne dinala yore.
녀마래다.
Pene nam pedi kane yujmarwa.
예.
And kuba di.
No.
It was there right from Tibet.
It was right there
Brought
from
the
Tibet.
amulet, yes.
And okay, Marty, are you happy with them? Let me see. Let me just do one. Okay. I'm going to do one. Pala, the amulet in. Thank you.
Chena.
The amulet that was in there that he showed us. Who gave him that?
Tanda sunga jikte narwa jishe.
No.
Jishe di nange suina.
정으로 제스라나. 직제마이.
His Holiness the Dalai Lama gave the Jikshe Mahi amulet.
Did he give it to you in person, or did he distribute it to the monastery?
Ani Jikshe Mahi di kyanggo rumbu chingi mi reri shine ma nang yena jikyang gomba la pa phu.
곰바나리. 곰바 미래리신 나가리.
Gombe gi ma nang rwa.
라리
Kyanggo
곰베
rumbu chingi gomba la nang rwa.
Lari.
Ani Gombe gi chaba re la ma.
라리 나가리.
So His Holiness gave the amulet to the monasteries, and the monasteries distributed them to the monks.
I see. Speaking of the monasteries, was there any way that the Chinese tried to understand something about the monk population or the numbers? Because it's my understanding that they were fearful of the fact that there were so many monks. So was there any way they tried to assess this, a population?
당수 Gombe gorla jiksung sungyaji dula. 다 탄다 Gombe 나리야 잡아 망보 여대로와.
라리.
다 모랑기 고대 제외나 다 지게미 dun주기다. Gombe 나라 잡아 가지 지연아지 쿠란 주기 지 덕바 잡지 유서래. 이까가 요레시야 지게지와라. 아니 군주기 장가 간제 하 고야라. 장가 가지 유매 하 고야라. 아니 가르치에나.
나온. 다디 딘데린. 저에 다 대사 센데 계속 잡아 차서 전부 힌두 전에 그 도바 쉬고 지고 올라온 다 잡아 되게 되면 편 전부 쉬고 또 질 니리아 심슈 첨부 로덥 첨부 타주 타부 직 전세보다 직된 발전에 가다 부부르다 냐뇨 갱고체니 건조 통셔고 말일 잡을 건조 셴나 슈부치고 그런 게마 더버 슈부치고 세다 다디 미마 멍뉴 잡아 자소 지중 근데 유매 꼴이야 아 건조 심주로 근데 지거래 다 탐에 지금 우두 서르선럽지 건조 그란조 배샬다 배 지부 슈부치리 이내리 잡아 몰롱칸 초초듀찬네 댄서 센데 게숨 시원타다 용자 몰롱리아 게랑가 용고를 겸이 마임베 아니 표반는 그 진다주 몰롱리아 동구탄네 슈부지어를 제가 딱 혼자 탑시로 가르쳐도 왜 아니 잡아 먹는 따야 체들이야 아니 혼자 게 겸네 게 따연 레레 겸네 아니 디 찹다첸 마안게 전부 유스 and sol용 그 유스천 럽천이 아니 건조 다 멤버 사이즈로 제가 탑시로부터 딘데 땅을 나온
So it's like this. In the three great monasteries, the monk population was very high, and the Chinese were fearful and suspicious of the monks. And however, they did not care much for the lay people, because the lay people had families and children and their properties. And while, on the other hand, the monks were brave and they were full of integrity, and so they wished to assess the number of monks. And though they loved money so much, they had this idea of making donations to the monks, because normally during the Mönlam prayer festival, not only all the monks of three great monasteries, but local monks also came there, and many donations were distributed to the monks. And the Chinese announced that they would be giving a big donation, distributing a big donation of 1 silver coin per monk, and they asked all the monks to attend the assembly.
And what happened?
Any 가르치ere 다 잡아 창마 파게타 갭 첨부 유스 아니 멜람 라페 보레스
멜론 겔랑가 용고 유스들이 제 아니 게 전부 유스천 럽천 다게 겹두잖아 엔 다행 가져 먹뉴 가져 친유메 엔 디나네 람사 아니 건조 지디 태용거발 잡아 미링거리 다자 미링거리 엔 잡아지 멤버로 자주 쳔모고 토네 치용코라 아니 해서 루시기 나리야 아니 댄서 센데 게숨 아니 시원타다 용조 아니다 제바 보라야다 마마 용조 domne 가져두겠다 디콘조 지르다 마스네 딱딱 고란조 지 태두요리 랑 시공박칼이야 콘조 멤버 자주 제가 용유요 말일 저 지고 말다 잡았던 오동 제다 이내게 팔고 술고 마셔 팔고만 저 지고요 말이 제가 콘조 멤버 자주 제알다 배샤 되겠지 다 뒤에 배래라고 슈브체브리 아니 공바 좀 먹어 데모 좀 먹어 세라 좀 먹어 간델 좀 먹어 chen 초찍을 다 몰론 게 때버와 안 잡아 멤버 가져이면 자주 제대로 슈브총을 나오면
So when finally when they made a count of how many thains had been distributed without having to go to all the individual monasteries, they were able to get the total number of monks in the three great monasteries and all local monasteries in and around Lhasa, and also the nunneries. Everyone who was in red, they had a count of them. And normally, they dare not come to all the monasteries and seek a count because they were afraid of the monks. But however, the monks did not act at all, unless, you're provoked. You do not act.
So no one suspected this was a ruse to get the numbers of people.
And that the kunzuki tayen dunzu di cherwa ta 공개 표브와 디 표드 디 까블이야 미수치기 하코야 말에 다 개미기 간주 장가 겹기도 삼네.
다 디치단기 게 겹치다 치두잖아. 도바세고라. 미만 도바세고다. 참마 용조 도바세고다. 야가 말이스티. 근데 게 가야디. 야가 말이스. 공부 댄서 카 소소소나 돈이고요 말봐 제장다 다리 탐망 토래 게 전부 유선 캡라 제위나 딱 배샬 가부리 용구리 삼제니 아니 건조 캡라티 제브로알 제담이 뭐 제주 지하 제돌이야 캡라티데스 nembu시아송알 now
So the monks as well as the lay people, they suspected, the designs of the Chinese because, they said their giving a donation is not a good sign.
Was there anything that happened as a result of that?
아니 다 잡아서 장가 갭 차러와 다 다이제 저기가네. 니 제란 콘주얀지 가르제 요나 다 콘줄 장가들 라 차러와.
다 장가 미보 가져이네디 다 라차러와. 다 이네게 다 콘줄이야지 가수를 미에직 로도다 넘주다 직 던져 찬디 콘줄 찬데 심주 제투요 말와 라운.
So now they had the figure, but still, they had to assess, the people's bravery and their attitude.
So we can continue with that story, but I want to not forget what happened to you. You left Norbulingka and you went back to Sera. Were you the first people to come back to Sera to give the news that His Holiness escaped, or did they already know at Sera? And can you tell us what their reactions were?
Pala tanda Norbulingka ne ta damrane chinpa chöpe ne Sera gomba pebwa. Sera gomba la pebne eni pegeleya ta jangorum je chikyu peb chashas dinde eni pala ge pege sungyora gombe nala. This video gane gombe nala Norbulingka ne chöpenge 당부 장라를 두에 발라.
레리. 단 노블링가 나네. 다 지단게 곰베 차박간가 로초 벤줄 땀사리. 지리칸이야. 지리칸 땀사리 가셰 노블링게 날 침리. 가셰 째보달 할 침리. 째보달 할 침리. 아니 중국 검조 나네 멘달랭가 침리 달라온. 곰베 날도 페지 대민도 동바로 그래라. 가셰 세르젤 지리생바 천샤 가셰 다마 노블링가 체 다간나시 째보달 할 멘달랭가 친 부그룹든데 자주 가셰 대유는 모델리 대친사샤 당가 건다 야단 노블링가 네 턴 세라야 두두전에 세레 버구 예연 드발 제고 다 제고 슝구다 제고 창고 누구센 세라야 제고 숨여래 딱 고라게서로 미 잡아레지니즈를 두만도 질 통야 재미도 나 혼자야 두스 대베 지금이 두스 다 때마다 요 말이 지랑스 단다 개미 용베이나 심제티 두그레스 chen 럽chen 나 혼자 거바이스도 혼자 아니 세라젤이야 첸소 가셰 제보달할 첸소 chen 딘데스기도 단 데스 다 노블링가니 쇼소 장고를 붙인 자갈 지균나 주비샤 다 때마다 요 말이 대나 개미 용구레스 단다 안 창도 개견이야 캡다 치스chen 안 딘데스 셰제 아니가 세라젤이야 큐빈 Serazel Yachimbi, Tenahol, Serazel Chimbin, and Serazene mi Yama Kavar Tanje, that Norbulingka, that Casa Nortulinga Lentharis, that Ma Loshus, I know, that German Russian, Dindition Kabayungutu, Tanzu Karisna, Kemitangur, Lamon. That Kemikura has an al tak letarta, tak Horata, Ramuchin Alia, and Kudu, Kumet. 타상타 맥답전에 되는 막 잡아가는 단 증거를 런지 걸었던 거를 왜 증리전 안저 멘다스타 키야요 뭐 트러블이야 요 말와 콘솔 멘다스타 키 척도냐도 치야요리 안저 규다 때문에 좀 해서 공부 해서요리 안 콘솔스타 라바 코라 런지 단 뭐도 질이야 멘다스타 겹치야 멘다 키야요 말 규도 타상스타 맥답 겹이스타 배 맥으로 마치 도축이 되기도 올라 참 아주 세렸잖아 마때 그러봐 레사야 long.
So most of the monks at Sera Monastery had been deployed to Norbulingka and to the Potala Palace to fetch arms from the armory, and some of the monks had been sent to guard the mountain top behind Sera, and when I reached there I found not many monks were left there, and the monastery looked almost empty. And Sera Monastery had 3 gates, and at one side I saw a few monks informed them that Norbulingka had been lost. However, His Holiness has escaped to India, and that they were to go and tell their teachers that it was futile to remain, and that the Chinese will come and capture them, and that they had to flee. And then I went at the back of Sera, where there is a hill, in the night. And then, messages came that the Tibetans had captured Norbulingka from the Chinese, and that everyone were to come back. And from the top of the mountain, I could see that the Gyudu and Dume monasteries, which are located at the Ramoche, there was hand-to-hand combat because the monks did not have guns, and both the monasteries were set on fire, and I could see the fire burning and the smoke from the mountain.
So where did this message come that that the Tibetans had captured Norbulingka from the Norbulingka? Where did this come from?
Norbulingka di pöbegi zu gemizane jutosons laviagi lenji lerwa. And len di kandis leina.
Len di mene yata chigi gyuni yung twa. Kabatan yata shitata yomarwa. Chedan di porul yata sobe tabshi cheni mitani. Kranzu ta kyumandus. Norbulingka len san Norbulingka len charris. Kyumandus kranz ma loshus chen mene ya mi tengor kaba yomaril. Mi chigi gyun tengi tunga. Nang anzu shita yi ma sheba che tesum chen dere ta.
These were oral messages relayed through people, and the message had been spread by spies. Because there were no telephones at that time, the messages came only through people, and that saying that we were to come back, and then we were in doubt.
And who do you think were these spies? Tibetans who were seduced by the Chinese, or were they Chinese posing as Tibetans, or somebody?
Tanda soba yorwa tanda.
Soba.
Nechi dunzu tamni soba yorwa. Soba dunzu pebe mi na ya gyami peba chiga chene. Dinje ina soba dunzu suina bala.
Ta soba shukchen robuta. Nganzu pebe mi mado chile keja khota thuyu marwal. Shukche dinde dat pa len tanye da chik chine shukche ta ngaranzu peba rishan lang. Gemi peba ya diche kulon che. Kirang pesha dinde che kirang de lumba dine dipodol ya kire keja di kya gus. Dinde stan. Tu yu da twa dinde chen sangda li gitu. Mado gemi khura yombe na segrwal. kunzu 벽에 탁다진 개그말 되게 별이야 개밀레 찾으리 등산을 있는 다 벽에 자기 신고를 할 냐만 요 말이 벽에 자기 나치 신고 말 개미호랑 합상 너 호란다서 요 말.
Those that spread the message were Tibetans, because the Chinese wouldn't know any Tibetan language then, and the people wouldn't understand them. And also, if the Chinese came, the Tibetans would surely kill them. So these were Tibetans who had been trained by the Chinese and bribed to spread such news.
And what happened as a result of being given that false information?
타케제 주마디 짬으로 와다 네치 주마디 짬니 아니 디제리야 다 가르치오이나
다 주마점니 미강가탄 겨름치 된디 슈츠주선에 다 계자 양이 컨디션에 다 녀야 요 말이스 다 혼자 원조 샤고 점 구야 탑시 지요레스 다 줘야 요 말이스 다 줘도 장으로 무친 자갈 된디 슈츠를 당아도 대요 말 당아도 산점 칼마 따고다 개미다 다 대대야 요 말이스 혼자 로스야 디약다 말이스다 마쇼 시주선을 콘조 세야 답시 지고레스 미 강글 레벨날 다가라요 장으로 친데 된디 슈츠를 당아도 산점 카드 바 질로 때는 맞다우선 미마 강다 질로 탐제 맞다고리라고.
So when this false information was relayed, people did not believe it. His Holiness had already left, and people thought, whether they bring good news or whether they bring bad news, they should not be believed. And we should now go to the border, go outside, and then try to fight them.
I see. And what happened to you next, Pala?
아니 디질란 팔알 가르치면서
땅아 딘데센터 노블랑가 나네 타연사르 땅아 아니 펜베날 파타 콤바네 펜베날 파친 펜베나네 데네 점인 넘두 용 넘두 나네 멘다 점네 가바 돈로살이야 멘다 점네 랑레 수구도 다 펜베나네 체 아니 만도 펜베날 파 추스건도 요르발 안 추스건도 날치 안 추스건도 날마 접제 데네 수체 아니 삼예 체 아니 천나체 제단체 공다 턴두체 아니 요갈레친 디네친 두센 아니 마저기 야마 제차자 아니 자갈 두슬레소 랑
So then from the monastery I went to a temple where there were many Chinese planes flying overhead and firing at us. And at Pembo there was the Chushi Gangjuk. So I went and joined the Chushi Gangjuk, and we had many encounters, along the way at Samye, at Tsöna, Tsetan, Tandu, and then I came towards India.
안주 먹지 다르둥알라다 개밀로 산트싱 안주 먹지 인 안자외니 안주 디오르다 고무트실라요리
So our army chief then was Radungawang, and there was also the Chinese man Lobsang Tashi, and of course Andu Kompatashi was there.
Pala, this has been a very informative and story of great bravery at Norbulingka, and I think that because of the time, we're gonna end this part of your story now, but we think we could hear many more hours of your experiences and your courage on behalf of Tibet.
Tarimpalagi eneni sugin junalia ta logo yo bada ni kule kyo bada dinte pe masigi ya usungso siwa ta tuju shita mebi indi gane palagi lugyo nyen de bin ta chuje mango yo sare pe masigi ya dos sungdo.
So I would like to just ask just a few questions at the end. I'd like, Pala, why do you love the Dalai Lama so much? What that you would risk your life to save him? Why is he so important to you?
Anita, ta kyamgur rinpoche la ta zidang chimbu shibu yorwa pala. Kyamgur rinpoche la zidang chimbu yorwa. Ani di pala gi ta su so le dang chia gi zidang chimbu di yoba di ani kari thenda res.
Ale di tumze de kari resana di nga sabu shai. Rinpoche ta nge so le dang so kari resana nga kyamgur rinpoche kunjul ya kelon tu bi yin. kelong tamjak nge shuyin jangurum chi chane lang ta rangso le dan jangurum chi demi tigri sedan soso rangso le dan jen di chebi ngone ta jangurum chi kundulya kelong tu gebji tijanum chi kundul gezu tu nge zawe lama tiktik jangurum chi ni nge ki kelong ki nge domba shuyuri jangurum chi kundul rang jangurum chi cha du sha nge lawa du chen 장으로 좀 군들 야 뒤쳐야 되는 금제 뒤일 너네 자월라면 오늘 전에 하고 전에서
I can sacrifice my life for His Holiness the Dalai Lama.
마타바치도
Because he is my root guru. I have taken my gyaling monk vows from His Holiness Dalai Lama. His Holiness has put his hand on top of my hand, and so he is my root guru. And I took my novice monk's vows from Tijang Rinpoche, the tutor of His Holiness the Dalai Lama.
네 자월라면 두신 랑온 제가 다양 용시브리 엔키란 딘데스 겐론치 임발라 딘데 저와 금제 가르치는 땅 냐마 마가나 지금 다 대자갈린 랑온 다는 마갈린 다 아니 대청으로 와 마가나리아다 쇼감 건다 마녀네 쇼가야 말람포돌이야 란케바 샴팜바 삼루타 미세야 딱딱 지금 머밀레가 뒤르바 제가 안디 지두잖아 아니 결혼을 돈받다 계기도 결혼을 팀 얘기해서 좀 요하래 뒤팀 뒤다 계기도 sen 앵야 결혼을 돈받디 셈에 장으로 청기 차네 만나는데 내 건주 먼저 해주 전 이거 말고 나 아재 우두 아주 울투는 아 머미처래 머미 인도자는 게 세야 두야 지야 삼루시다 당고 근데 순다 이게 결론 좀 받이 야표고 총스 라마 셴다 야표.
So then when I came to India, I joined the Indian Army. So as a soldier, it is your duty to see that you win and the others lose. And then you have to kill to do that. And as a monk, I have taken the 223 vows, and it goes against my vows. And so this is a desperate situation. And then I decided to give up my vows, and I gave them up to another Lama.
Yes. Pala, you very kindly and generously offered to share your story with us. Can you give us your ideas about why you think it is important to record the stories of this oldest generation of Tibetans alive today?
다른 발라기 간줄래야 아니 발라랑기 미지 루규 돈주 송르와 다디나 시행 간주기 다 미셴바 망베기 루규 드룹치기 열와 다디 발라기디 개침보리 공야 간데스 개침보리 공구도에 디라가디
랑원 다디 가르스나 낭나메 루규 다 벌스버 차고에 겁리야 간데 근데 중요미 초에 내당 근데님이 대당 근데 로당 근데 사당 근데 동당 근데 저와 근데 지금 유명 루규디 치열 파점 고주잖아요 다미 겜베 아니 다 군냠뇽지 유두잖아요 지난주 근데 나래 소소르된리야 냠뇽 좀부터게 차단 정원에 쉬어야들 아 가고 싶으시죠 가르스나 만주디 미리니 냠뇽 디게디 7월 파 캡타 로트우요 말이 달 현재 주 딘데스니다 두릅 체니 내주 소소소 렌 디캡라 지주전에 신도네 가보리 토제체나 쉐인 라모.
So in order to know about Tibet, you need the stories of the old people and how they led their lives in Tibet, how they ate and drank and interacted, and so it is very important, and I'm very happy to relate my story to you today, and that you will broadcast the stories worldwide.
Okay. Thank you. Well, we are honored to record your story and do appreciate your participation in this project. And I want to ask you one more time, just to be sure, if this interview was shown in Tibet or China, would this be a problem for you?
아니 다른 데는 폐 루규 송 지바던 저는 아주 백가부 총스 하양 아주 양교 지와디 땅국이 열을 타마딜라야 다른 게 루규 송과 된 아주 폐다 갸나를 땜비나 엠팔라 강이 가려 열베
오늘 다 디콜리아 강에 제야 지요 말에 디나 뭐에 내주시다지 마도 질이야 다가스직 수수 릭좀제 마적제 제브리 마동을 통해서 제 쉬거든요 자와라는 맹아라랑 류도 호라라를 전부 되게디 뭐에 내주시비디 잠을리 캡타 도구요 도투요 말 제가 딜리아 냥가 짠 메스로
There'll be no problems whatsoever because I have told the story of what I have experienced and what I have witnessed, and that is the truth.
So thank you for sharing your story with us.
토차나 달랭게 되게서 막 잡다는 게 요래 지게를 파주 가와이네 잡다는 게 토차나 다 디고거를 랑 토차나
You are broadcasting our story to the world, and that's what we want.
토차나
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.